From Narrows Plaza Bowl in Tacoma, here for the title matches of the Pac Northwest Doubles Classic. A big day of action here, and it is two thumbs versus no thumbs as the top-seeded team of Ashton Yamasaki and Chris Tucholsky are taking on the second-seeded team of Duke Knudsen and Jake Mullen. A lot of talent here in the scratch division. Also getting just started on the left is the handicap finals. That's top seed Sawyer Bauman Triberg and his dad Ted going up against Dayton Nicholson and Spencer Dessert for the handicap title. The difference is 12. That's just the first frame miss for Sawyer. It's early. They'll get plenty more chances. Ashton and Chris, both 6-time JBT champs. Of course, Ashton has plenty of time to increase that title total while Chris is off making waves on the PBA regional tour as well with his dad. And they're already flying. That's front 5 for Ashton and Chris. And that front 5 is only good for a 19-pin lead currently, as Jake and Duke have 3 in a row. And they can tie up this match. They can both get strikes here in the 5th and 6th. Baker format, so they're doing alternating frames. Jake is going to do all the odd-numbered frames on that lane, and Duke will do all the even frames on the right lane, looking to become a JBT champion. Enjoying a many-time champion, Jake. That's where we're leaving it. It's the number. That's the best we could come up with. Oh, and he trips the whole rack out of there for 4 in a row there. Big break for them to get them within 9. Duke will look to tie it up. Jake won a couple of invitationals before he went on his way to Weber International down in Florida. And then all that happened. And yeah, there you go. That's the Jake Mullen story in a nutshell for you right there. Dayton and Spencer won the semifinal match over Toby Wills and Charity Hill, and Toby and Charity won the first match over Ty Garrett and Jessica Tourette. It's been a while since we've seen Duke on TV, one of the best up-and-coming physical talents we've had, and he goes even higher than Jake did, and he also trips out the 4-7-10 to tie things up. So we got a barn burner going on in scratch right here. My goodness. Spencer is new to us. Dayton's only bowled semi-regularly in the past, so we haven't seen him in a while. Maybe we'll see a lot more of them now that they're making top 5s there. A pair from up a little north. Tucholsky shreds his rack. 2 holes. Makes it front 6. As he tries the Brooklyn side. Can't get the 3-pin to carry. Spencer 16, Dayton 15. Nice match pair. They both use their thumb. They were plumb out of this tournament until Dayton came up with a 4th game 266 scratch that got them just into the cut. They were the handicap cut, and then they won 3-0 in match play to get all the way up to the number 2 seed from 16th place. So they have made one heck of a run to get this far to see if they can finish it off. Ashton, that so powerful 2-hander, does great in. Well, will it roll? Oh, string ends at 6 with the 10. Ashton does well in any tournament club with a bunch of letters in its name. It doesn't matter if it's JBT, OJC, OBA, PBA. He just knocks an awful lot of pins over wherever he goes. 5 pin for Sawyer. Sawyer just 13 bowling with his pop over there from Tech City is their home house. Ashton switches to plastic. Bowlers had to choose 3 balls to use all day long today. Still make service adjustments, but we're stuck with only those 3. Middle road pattern was just that. Scores weren't too high, weren't too low. Overall, so best shot makers. Most over their averages are the ones we have left. No problem at all for the 5-pin for Bauman Triberg. Team that grabbed the lead early, lost it a little bit, and then gained it back with a real nice 3-game semifinal set to get to plus 218. Oh. 6 in a row ties things up again. Both teams at exactly a 249 pace. We see who can perform best in the last 3 frames. Jake's let Duke do the evens. The only one of this group without a JBT title. He has been one of those kids where we've just been waiting for the explosion. He He's had all the physical tools since a very young age. Putting it all together, and he'll be the first to admit, has been another story for him. He's really tinkered with his physical game, experimented with two-handed for a little while. I personally love that he put his thumb back in the ball because he's got two-handed rotation with his thumb in it, so it's kind of the best of both worlds. I still think he's got every opportunity to be spectacular, and tournaments like this are a great building ground to bowl a title match. Yamasaki, Tucholsky, and Mullen. That's automatically going to make you better. Oh, he taps that 10-pin out with all that power, and all of a sudden they take the lead for the first time in the match. In the 8th frame, all the pressure back on Tucholsky now. Dayton has the same hit Spencer had earlier, and leaves just the 3-pin as well. As suddenly this match moving along a lot faster because they're only bowling 1 shot per frame over here on the right. See Chris with that back foot crossed over left of the ball return. Lofts over the edge. Couldn't put it in the 1-3 any better. How nice. Wow. These doubles teams are often stacked. JBT alumni come back and bowl. They can bowl with anybody. They often bring the big guns out. That's what we got left this time. Catch Spencer over here on the left-hand lane. Having trouble going high, both of them, Spencer and Dayton. They're going to have to make a second half of the game adjustment here. Key shot of the match right here for Yamasaki. His last shot of the match. No! And again, a flat 10. He liked that off his hand. Just quite didn't face up hard enough to get through that rack. And he'll have to sit there and hope his teammate, and his opponents for that matter, can bail him out. 3-9 a tough spare. Doesn't cover them both. They've got 85 through 5 over there, so they still lead in that match. They've already made up the handicap difference. So Ashton and Chris pacing 249 now there. Jake and Duke still have room for 290, but are pacing right now, making 9 spare strike 259. There are tie possibilities all over the dang place. That would be interesting. Still do a 1-shot roll off to break these ties. In the days past, if Jake strike here, you would hear it. But you're not going to hear it as the ball creeps up high, and disaster for Mullen. 4, 6, 10, yikes. You know, they had the lead going in. Obviously, they'll lose that, and they lose some count too, but this game is far, far from over. Duke wants him to get the count. I agree. There's no point trying to do a hero split here and lose even more count, which may or may not come into play later. Remember, his opponent Steve is on a spare. Wow. As it stands, an excellent effort. That's the way you go for it. You make sure the pin, still go for the slide. You got to be accurate to know to do that. He does. Now, if Duke strikes doubles here in the 10th, he still forces Chris to double in the 10th. Give him 255. Duke's team with the double, or all 3. That would make Chris get 26 in the 10th. It all comes down to the anchor bowlers for the scratch title. Woo! And Ted just slides that 6-pin over into the 10th. No strikes, but 3 spares through 6 frames over there. Absolutely picture perfect on the first ball. It's the next ball that really tells the story here. Wow! Just about to say Dayton keeps coming up high, but he might not change a thing. He goes right through the 1-1 pocket and squashes them all down. He'll take it. Dayton, a baseball player as well. Spencer says this is his best result in any sort of bowling he's ever had. Those bowl pretty good. Oh, and he'll try the Brooklyn too. Well, they can't stop going high. They might as well just fully go Brooklyn. Here is Duke in the 11th. Biggest shots of his JBT career so far right here. Pops up a little. Boy, you see him pop up at the foul line. That means he got to the foul line early. That means he's going to have his arm cross over his body a little bit. That'll go high every time in that scenario. That's really, really common. That's the natural reaction to a high pressure situation. When he watches this tape back, he will see that he popped up with that foul line, caused that ball to go high. But he still forces Chris to get mark and count here. They finish with a very nice 245. That's hardly anything to be ashamed of, not at all. What always impresses me about these doubles and team tournaments is how much the adult bowlers still want to win these JBT titles for their kids. That's something about it. The tour, it doesn't get old even if you get older. He needs 17 fill in the 10th. Hi. Oh no! Chris watches Jake go high. Chris also has his ball check up early and go high, and somehow rolls that 6. With all this great shot making, sometimes you catch a little break at the right time. That is a great break for Chris and Ashton, and they will happily notch titles number 7 of their JBT career. For Duke, that win is coming soon. He knows well what winning is like out here. That's more Tucholsky-like, because he shreds that rack. I mean, scores are not that high at the top today, and they're going to shoot 504 between the two of them. So shows you how much talent's going on there. Great finish and scratch. Hopefully we got one coming up here in handicap as Nicholson's team is on a double. This is the 8th frame for Dayton. He's gone high every time this match. Unable to get the triple this time. Obviously a key spare here. Just to the plastic and have it. They lead by 33 on the scoreboard. They're getting 12 back, so it's a 21-pin advantage for Spencer and Dayton. As Spencer's going to bowl his last frame of the tournament. Here in the 9th, spare working for his team. Don't just keep on going high and keep on carrying those Brooklyns. My goodness. That's a factor of the 3-ball limit, where bowlers can't switch to something that hooks less. So they got to figure something else out. And sometimes you get the breaks even if you don't figure that out. Sawyer's 9th frame, last for him. He might need some X's to pull this out of the fire here. That's pretty good. Nope, high as well. Seen that hit plenty of times. They can still get 169 if Ted strikes out. They're getting another 12 for 181. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Tomorrow, you bowl?
What do you say we go at it next year? What do you say we go at it next year?
Well, if we don't see you tomorrow, we'll see you soon. And if you want, you're always welcome to stop by and see if someone needs like a film. So, all right, man. Thank you. Sawyer does get that spare. Ted really needs to go up here with a double in the 10th to put any kind of pressure on Nicholson. And not happening. Tough title match for the Bauman-Triberg duo here is no strikes, right? That game is as hard to watch as their shirts. I just want to point out again that this tie-dye madness, it looks straight out of a 70s music video, dude, and I like it. And I like it. I told him I had hair that longer than his hair when I was his age. That's pretty close. Oh, just not quite able to make that spare. Tough game for that team. 144 plus the 12 is 156. It's already game over. So Dayton and Spencer are going to win their first career titles. It's still Sawyer's career high finish as well. So good stuff all around. Nice scholarship checks for each of them. And why not? It's the story of this match. They could not get the ball to the right of the head pin, and it did not end up mattering. As their last 4 strikes have been all Brooklyns, right? Either squashers or Brooklyns. Sometimes you got to beat lefties. Sometimes you got to imitate righties playing left, acting like lefties. But what a mistake trying to not go Brooklyn. That'll teach you. Well, I don't think I've ever had a 4-6 made on camera. Dayton, here's your giant opportunity. You don't got to hide, Chris. You just won the tournament. Oh, give it a run. No, not to be. Nonetheless, that's 200 scratch. That's plenty to win this title. Well done out of all of our finalists. Team tomorrow, our favorite tournament of the year in the Northwest. Starts all over again back here at Narrows. Huge thanks to the whole team here. We'll do it all over again in the morning.